What's the word, y'all? This is KTR _podcast, Know the Ropes podcast with your boy Cinko, Big Harv, and J-Bo himself. How y'all doing today on this fabulous Tuesday?
Another day, feeling good, buddy.
That's good. That's good. Big Harv, how you feeling today?
Yeah, you know.
I'm here.
I'm
here. J. Harv computer literacy skills.
Right, we gotta teach some technology skills real quick.
Y'all ain't even have to do this.
We gonna get them up there though.
Right, but before we get started with anything, before we get into the social media handles and the shouts and things like that, we're gonna just give a quick moment of silence for wrestler Kamala. Passed away at the age of 70 due to complications of COVID-19 and other health conditions that he went through in the past.
Absolutely. He's a legend. It's hard to see it happen at any time for anybody, especially given what's going on right now. He's a bigger name than some of the other people. Like, we've all lost people during this time. So, yeah, RIP to a legend.
Kamala, he's been through a lot of health issues over the past, 10 plus years. Like, he's been going through it for a minute. Yeah. So, I hate to see a man like him suffer up until the end, but, hopefully at this point he can rest in peace for real.
Right. Yeah, like I said, man, strong man, strong individual. He's been fighting this long, and he fought the good fight. But wherever y'all may say, rest in heaven, rest in peace, rest in power, whatever it is, may he just rest peacefully from his pain.
He deserves it.
Right. But now let's get into the show. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all go like, comment, subscribe on everything that we are on. Social media networks, Twitter, Instagram, KTR _podcast. We are on Facebook at Know the Ropes Podcast. Go follow us on YouTube as well as Know the Ropes Podcast. You know the ropes. Do you know the drill? Now let's get into the spiel. You know what I'm saying? It's episode 6, baby. Let's go.
Episode 6. Yes, sir.
First off, we're gonna get started with we just gonna go down, the weeks, how it is. We got Raw on Monday, you got Impact on Tuesday, you got AEW versus NXT on Wednesday, then you got the SmackDown Live on Friday. So we're gonna get started with Raw real quick. First off, starting off, I personally don't like it. I'm just gonna say it right now for that. Rey Mysterio's son. Dominik Mysterio. He has been in a number of storylines with his father over the past months, with the whole thing with him, like with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. I remember that earlier on when we had crowds, and now we're finishing up with the storyline with him and Seth Rollins. And now he has earned, let me tell you, he has received a match at Summerslam. Summerslam, with one of the granddaddy shows, pay-per-views of WWE, with the Seth Rollins, Monday Night Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. Personally, with me, it's.
Go ahead, Sam. I don't
like it. I'm just gonna say I really don't. I kind of get it because SummerSlam, these big shows, it's always an entertainment aspect type of match that pops up every here and there, and I kind of get it, but the fact that he has a match with Seth Rollins, and please don't try to make it competitive. I hope they just find a way to, give maybe Mysterio a little pop, with his little kendo stick action. I was kind of glad seeing him get beat on Raw though. That sounds bad, but it is what it is. But okay, I'm done. So I'm gonna be speaking my mind too much. They beat the hell out of him. Welts and marks everywhere.
Me, I can't remember exactly what match it was. It was one of those WCWs back in the day with Hulk Hogan, them, Hollywood, and all that. and they used the strap and beat it was Reed Flair.
Yep.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of Reed Flair in the ring. And I couldn't believe nobody came up. Man, he had welts everywhere. They beat the hell out of that boy.
So
he earned his stripes.
He earned his stripes. Yeah, I'll give him that. He earned his welcome into WWE. I'll give him that. He took a beating. But how do you feel about him getting a match at SummerSlam, though? I need to know that.
Well, here, let me go ahead and say this. I didn't really even care too much about when Dominik came back and we was getting to the ring. I really didn't. But I'm going to be a 100% Dominik fan simply because Sam is against him. Okay. Look, a couple weeks ago, I don't care what nobody says, I was actually quite impressed with that 619 he did. I thought it was clean for somebody his size who had no wrestling experience. I thought it was great. Sam was just BSing all over it. So you know what? I hope he goes to SummerSlam and put on a wrestling clinic with Seth Rollins. I hope he gives him a run for his money, and I hope that he becomes something great. I'm all for it. I'm with Dominik on this one.
Go hard, because I just got pissed.
I'm actually pretty neutral on it because we've seen it before. Like they always bring somebody in.
It's different. It's different.
It's not really.
It's a wrestler.
What we're going to talk about soon. Yeah.
But continue. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know.
Most wrestlers' children.
I know. I got mad about that because they get.
What do you mean? All of them. Look at the shirt you have on. They're children. That's whose children they are. That's whose children they are.
They earned this. They earned it. Anyway.
Yeah, but when they came in, they weren't respected like that.
I know. That's right. But this is different, though. This is different.
Shane, it reminds me, it's reminiscent to me of Shane McMahon, of when they brought him in. Nobody respected Shane. Shane had to earn that respect. And he earned it through hardcore methods, which is what it looks like they're going to use with Dominik to try to achieve the same thing. Now, if we know anything about Latino wrestlers, even though he hasn't been in any active in-ring contests, you know he's been in the ring since he was like 6 months. So I'm pretty sure he has some experience. I'm not as I don't think it's going to be terrible. I'll say I don't think it's going to be terrible. No. I'm neutral about it. Like I'm not super excited because I don't really, I haven't really been a Ray fan in a while. As far as in ring goes, he's a legend, of course. It's always good to see him, but in ring wise, I'm never, I'm an in ring guy. So
we know.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. I don't think it's gonna be terrible, but I don't think it's gonna be amazing.
Right.
But Seth Rollins does his job. It'll be tolerable.
He gonna carry that match. But yeah, like I said, I'm a fan of wrestling, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna like it, but I'm not gonna judge. He's gonna get.
You might like it. You might. We'll see.
Dominik, I am blowing up Sam's phone.
I'll be pissed if he wins. But don't worry, we're gonna make a bet on that one as soon as all the matches get set up, and I'm gonna win my $5 from y'all. But anyway, moving on. Talking about Monday Night Raw because it's the mainstay of Monday TV now since there's nothing really else on TV. So all the eyes are on them. And so with that, comes ratings. And the ratings have been, depleting, dropping a little bit. And so they try to shake things up, So they have now Raw Underground.
Yeah.
Look like a little fight club going in the background, So what you think about that so far with how looked at method? Personally with me, I saw Raw last night and what was going on, they were actually displaying like the up and coming wrestlers' names from NXT on there. Right. So they're getting a little shine on, network TV now. Just for a split second. But that's what I think it's for, just to show that off. But personally, I don't think it's gonna have a long run in it because I don't see anything developing from it at all unless they do like some title match. But it's basically a bunch of big dudes dropping little guys on there. But yeah. But what y'all think?
Jay, Harv, you go.
I feel like they're rehashing a lot right now, man. Like it reminds me of the Brawl for It All way back in the day with what's his name? Butterbean at the end. He whooped everybody, but it didn't matter. Right. I think it's funny, like I told y'all when we were texting about it, it's hilarious watching kayfabe MMA Like they have to the facial expressions they have to make in order to sell the moves is hilarious.
Right.
I can't take it seriously. It's not that I'm not a fan of it, because some of the moves are actually executed really well. Like you saying, we saw some on Monday. Some was actually executed pretty well.
Right.
But I can't take it seriously. I really can't.
J-Bo.
I'm neutral, but honestly, I'm more against it than for it. I mean, Jay Harv kind of mentioned it. It is kayfabe of MMA. Like it's one thing when we all know that the WWE pro ring wrestling is scripted, and we know that they know what's going on in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to MMA and you're trying to make that look like it doesn't work. You can watch the screen and see them pull the punches. Like, that's why I cannot take it seriously. But I will give it some credit. Like Cinko, you mentioned how it does give some of the newer guys some type of shine.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. To be honest with you, I did kind of like when the Hurt Business came out, not last week, but the week before, and they came out and they made their statement. I thought that was good. One dude online, I wish I kept his Twitter handle, but he said he would love to watch Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey in Raw Underground.
That would be nice. And she did make her debut on there last night.
Yeah, and Shayna Baszler, she was great last night. So there's positives to it, but overall, it's nothing lasting nor believable in this case.
Okay, so with that being said, like I said, displaying new faces and like a new look. There's been a new look that's been going around on Monday Night Raw too as well. There's a bunch of 5'5" people dressed in all black hoodies and pants and stuff running around, destructing the performance center.
All of them.
They're called Retribution. What? I'm sorry, they look like a bunch of kids.
Oh my God.
We're tall than them. We're not tall people. That's the thing about it,
Right.
Exactly. We're taller than them, man. I'm just saying. I really wish I would see.
I'm a tall person.
I'm sorry. 2 out of 3 of us are not extremely tall or tall at that fact.
There we are. Okay.
He's over 6 feet. So that's different.
Well over. I'm not saying well over 6 feet. 7 foot tall.
Anyway,
you can't teach that. That's for you, Sam. That's for you. Can't teach that. Can't teach that, baby.
I am 5'10" and proud. But anyway, like I said,
oh my God,
Retribution. You know what? I really don't know what to say about it, because I was gonna ask, like, who do y'all think they are? But I don't like that question. I really can't tell, because I'm trying to think who we are. Matter of fact, guess it.
It's too random. It
really is too random. Like I couldn't just narrow it down. So we're gonna say how you feel about Retribution. I feel like it's just a poor man's version of Nexus.
Yes, thank you. It's trash. I'm against it completely.
I'm not against it. Oh yeah, you go ahead.
I'm against it, mainly because, like Cinko said, it is the poor man's Nexus, and a lot of people is comparing it with Nexus, as they should. It's a bunch of people coming to the ring trying to make a statement inside the WWE ring. So I get that. The difference with Nexus is that felt organic. It felt like a bunch of wrestlers who was trying to make a name for themselves. This is just a whole bunch of fools. Dude, they brought out a chainsaw and cut the ring rope.
Hey, that was the only cool part that they did for
real. No, that was not. It's childish. I don't see anything long running. Even when they take off the mask, I'm still not gonna be like, ooh, it was this guy. This was the one who threw the beer bottle at the conjunction. Like, none of that is interesting to me. It's lame. It's poor. There's no ending to this one positively. No.
I'm gonna say it's typical. I'm not gonna say I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic. Every company on the planet does invasion angles with a bunch of up and comers that they want to try to get in really fast and make an impact. Like it happens 5 times a year on the regular everywhere. So I'm not gonna fault it because of that. It's way too reminiscent of Nexus, and it's like Nexus and the Shield combined. I do think it's a mix of men and women. Obviously,
it is.
Yeah, obviously. My hope is that Tommaso Ciampa is one of them.
Okay.
And if he's one of them, I can get behind it. That's all that really matters to me.
Right.
Because I was trying to look at him and try to figure, look at builds and all that, trying to figure out who it might be. I'm hoping that it's Ciampa, and that's really all I care about. That's my dog. So
yeah, like I said, with that, Retribution, I'm not convinced, with that whole thing, because like I said, when they get in the singles action, they all gonna get squashed one by one. Unless it's Tommaso Ciampa, that's out there.
Yeah, don't disrespect.
I know that I'm not, but
But that's the thing. Like, if we take it off Jay Harv, like, let's say it is Tommaso Ciampa, great. But then that means the entire Retribution group is just for Tommaso Ciampa. So now you got a bunch of guys.
Not necessarily, because there are quite a few people that we haven't seen in a while.
True.
Because of COVID, NXT, whatever reason, there's a lot of people we haven't seen in a while. It could be some decent names. It might end up being grouped around him, but that doesn't mean that everybody else will be held lower. Right. Yeah, we don't know. It's an unknown. We won't know until we know. So
right.
I'm sorry, I just can't get with it. But hopefully I'm wrong. I can't get with it.
Yeah, we are gonna see. But moving on from Monday to Wednesday nights.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. West Coast Time.
Why are you doing all
I almost messed up when I said 6 p.m. because I was like, dang, that's out behind us, so it don't count. But anyway, it's been a lot of back and forth on TV, on Twitter, with AEW versus specifically pretty much WWE NXT. Not really Raw or SmackDown, because they're not beating them in ratings on those shows, but no, just the battle of the wrestling shows on those specific on those specific nights, it's NXT versus WWE, and it's been a lot of back and forth
AEW.
from it. Okay, I'm team WWE. Yeah, so it's different.
You said it's NXT versus WWE.
Okay, and I'm NXT. Oh, I'm sorry, it's NXT versus.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
see, I tried. You got offended. I was just trying to
I apologize. I
apologize.
Apologize, but yeah.
All right, there we go.
And so there's this one post that caught my attention from somebody. I do want to give them a shout out, because I don't want to take their idea or information, because that's not what we do or who I am.
Not condoned,
yeah. So
it's disrespectful. We don't do that.
Right. So
quick, we won't stand for disrespect either.
So real quick with that, from a social media handle, Olivia Twist. It sounds how it's spelled. She said, or he said, this person said, AEW is more corrupt than WWE. The company is based around ex-employees bitter they weren't in a main event push or couldn't even make it past the trial stage. The company is burying itself by allowing the wrestler/management do their own PR. WWE remains unbothered. And that post grabbed a lot of attention from people on social media. And it's a mixture of opinions. I kind of agree. I kind of don't, because I know y'all just made that look. Because this is how I see NXT. Well, WWE as a whole versus AEW. AEW gives you that feel, that gives you that indie wrestling feeling. It really does, and that's really what more of people, I would say, who are really into wrestling or age range are up or really want to see, minus the PG era too as well. We want to see the action and all that. And AEW, they've been doing great content, but at the same time, NXT has been doing a real good job on their TV as well. But the thing about it is, I feel like since WWE is more towards the entertainment aspect, that's where the downfall is in the business. And the fact that AEW has more WWE big names on the show, it plays a part in it too. Because you got to look at it like this, realistically, at this point now, we know all the big names from people on NXT, but outside of that, do many people really know anything afterwards? You guys got to take account of that, and you got to see who drives the money in for the WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. Is the younger people, the kids and stuff, that they're more into it. it's the people in our group, you know, that are doing the ratings for AEW and NXT because that's what we want to see. And I think that's why we don't like much of the WWE product anymore because it's saturated with the entertainment element. And, you know, it's just half and half with like the people like me like the entertainment, the people like Harv likes the in-ring action, you know.
My thing about the entertainment is that a lot of the time it's not entertaining.
Your entertainment still.
Yeah.
It's not, a lot of the entertainment is not entertaining. That's what we talk about with the bathroom breaks. A lot of the times when WWE entertains, people go to the bathroom. The only real entertainment wrestling fans care about are promos, backstage segments, things that actually push the storyline. Nobody cares about a singing contest, a dancing contest, a pie eating contest, Thanksgiving dinner. Nobody cares about any of that. Nobody. The kids there live. The kids there live might enjoy that stuff. But even at home, we grew up with the Attitude Era.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which it had a bigger focus on wrestling. We go back and watch it.
Because we were watching things that we shouldn't have been watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to get across is that WWE, even when they had great wrestlers, if we go back and watch a number of segments, matches, whatever, just randomly from the Attitude Era, there's just as much miss as there is hit. Yeah. We focus on the big moments because they are big, prolific moments. But the Attitude Era is pretty iffy, just like WWE is iffy now. So what I'm saying is, because of the name, no matter what content they push, WWE is always going to do okay.
Yeah.
Which is why they keep talking about, they're going to something edgier. Raw Underground is the beginning of something edgy. It really doesn't matter because it's their name. Their name is always going to keep them, and their connections. They connected. They in the White House.
Yeah.
They're connected. WWE doesn't have anything to worry about. AEW and the unbothered thing, they shouldn't be bothered. AEW is nowhere near WWE, but the whole reason NXT went to live TV, which we talked about before, was to combat AEW. And as I said before, they have consistently lost to AEW. Now, you can say it's because of the names. That was, I'm sorry, the individual that made that tweet kind of spoke out of their ass. I apologize, but you did. You really did. Every company takes talent from every other company. If they're not being used and they get terminated, what are they supposed to do? How does that make them corrupt? They got to eat, bro. They got to eat.
For real. Yeah.
They got to eat. So I don't understand that.
So here, let me piggyback off that because I disagree with that entire post whatsoever. First thing he says that WWE is unbothered. And as Jay Harv said, yeah, that's true. But who cares? You know, AEW, they're their own wrestling organization. Let them do their own thing. Yeah, WWE, like you said, they're going to be fine. AEW going to be fine. What kind of bothered me in that text, though, it said that it's filled with a bunch of bitter wrestlers who couldn't cut it in the WWE. Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm thinking about the wrestlers who's over there. You know, I'm thinking about the Cody Rhodes. I'm looking at the Zack Ryders. I mean, if you think about it, these are wrestlers who probably are taking all these terrible gimmicks, not getting anywhere with them, or they're just getting a paycheck by sitting and catering. So you mean to tell me that if I go somewhere else where I'm actually going to be given an opportunity to be something bigger than that I'm bitter? In that case, I'm not bitter in that case. I just want better opportunities. I work hard. I feel that if I feel that I deserve better than what I'm going to go out here and continue my work somewhere else. Take a look here. Let me give you some facts. Take a look at Christian. Before Christian left WWE, he was no more than a mid-carder. He was not being taken seriously as a main event.
It took me a while to take him seriously when he came back.
Exactly.
Even though he had been main event elsewhere, it took him a while for him to come around. But yeah,
it did. But he left the WWE to make a point that he can be a main eventer. He went to TNA, won that Impact title, came back. Like he said, it did take a minute, but he put on some wrestling clinics with Randy Orton with the World Heavyweight title. And then if you look at another example, take a look at MVP even. He didn't like where he was. He left. He went to New Japan Pro Wrestling, became the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Champion, and then came back, and now we're over here talking about how great of a mouthpiece he is for the Hurt Business. You can look at Bobby Lashley. Even when he left, he did MMA. He went on to TNA and became one of the most dominant Impact champions there. He's coming back, and now he's in the main event picture with Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. You can't tell me that just because you leave, you're better. You're not bitter. You just want better. So yeah, Forget that dude or girl, whatever.
Yeah, that was trash. That was trash statement. It really was.
Yeah, because with that, it really just shows like they really like the wrestling over the money. So that's what that really proves. So
yeah.
That's not even the case sometimes. Like sometimes they get terminated. That's why I was saying you got to eat. Like, and then like Drew McIntyre, he say it all the time. He's another example. He got fired, so he went back home. He traveled around the world and he earned his way back. That's not being bitter. That's you have to adjust. You have to adapt. And if you want it bad enough, you got to stay hungry and get it. Like it's multiple ways to get it. But to say that the company is corrupt and to say that the wrestlers are bitter, that was stupid. It was completely, with respect, whoever you are. You spoke out of your ass. I'm sorry.
According to whoever made that post, that person is technically saying that it is better to stay in a company where you're sitting in catering, collecting a paycheck, than to go somewhere else and be better. That's technically what they're saying.
Yeah. So with that, which one would you choose, NXT or AEW?
I can't sit here and say that I pick one or the other because
pick one.
Different wrestling organizations.
Yeah, pick one.
Dude,
we know you cover AEW, so don't be biased. So yeah, which one?
Me personally, I'm gonna go with AEW, and that's
we knew that already.
They have more upside. They just have more upside than NXT. NXT, the end game for every superstar there is to go to WWE. AEW doesn't have that.
Not all of
it
them.
It is. Yeah. Who's a lifer? Who's down there that's been there for the entire time that NXT has been NXT? Nobody. Name one. Name one.
You talking about been in?
There are no lifers.
Well, of course not. They're eventually gonna go up.
What you mean? Of course not. There are WWE lifers.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
On NXT?
Who's a lifer down there? There are no lifers. They're gonna eventually go up to WWE. That's the end game for everybody. Once they're tired of you down there, they got to move you up. They got to find something or move you backstage. But that's the end game. That's why I choose AEW. AEW, everybody's on display. They're not going to leave that company. It's not like a big difference, but AEW is its own entity while NXT is grooming for WWE, regardless of how you look at it. Ultimately, that's the goal.
I choose NXT. What about you, Jacko? You were AEW too?
That's because I cover them and I freaking love everything that's going on. By the way, shout out to my guy Chris Jericho, the 18 to 49 demographic, aka the demo guy. Just out of respect for my guy. The demo guy. Also, shout out to my boy Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed. I had to get my shout outs out there real quick.
Okay, fine. Shout out to Keith Lee. You know, do NXT shout outs. Shout out to Finn Balor. You know. Shout out to Undisputed Era.
He the closest thing to a lifer. Finn Balor, he went up and came back down.
Right.
Came back down, right.
But he still left. So
yeah, cool. And
shout out to mom and dad.
Shout out to wife. Let's get it.
Cool. So we got that out the way. Now we are on to our lightning round. This is the one I was looking forward to. I told you I had a good idea about. Y'all gonna like it because I like it. So with that being said, the questions are centered around if us three were a wrestling faction. That's the topic. So the first question I have down is, what would our roles be?
I'll be the enforcer, of course.
You guys do for all three of us.
That's a given. I think you'd be the mouthpiece.
Makes sense.
And I'll probably be like the small muscle head kid.
Ken Shamrock standing up there, just ready to go crazy with a crazy ass face all the time. Boy, that's you.
Yeah, that'll be dope though. Actually,
I told y'all I made us in the game, man. We running rampant in my universe. Killing it over there.
Next question. What you about to say something, J-Bo?
No, I with it.
Cool.
I got ideas now.
Next question. If we all had titles, what would they be?
I would try to hold the United States and the Intercontinental title at the same time.
Damn, okay, it's kind of selfish. Right?
You're right. Yeah, right. What would be? Yeah.
So I guess that would leave me and Harv at the tag team titles or something.
I can hold both the tag straps myself. You can go ahead. You can You can get your 24/7 title over there.
You can go down to NXT. Go down to NXT.
I will be a cold 24/7 champion. I don't know what you're talking about.
There you go. Now, I'd of course eventually go for the world title, but straight out the gate. I always wanted to win the tag titles. I don't know why. Every game I play, I always win the tag titles first.
Yeah. So I can see like
tag team wrestling look like fun.
I can see like the Shield thing, how Dean Ambrose had the United States title and Seth Rollins and Reigns at the tag team. So, Like I said, for me, it would probably be the tag team titles and like 24/7 titles. I'm not gonna lie, just in the entertainment aspect, because that's the main thing I'll be doing.
I can see that.
Exactly. Waste my time being around y'all, doing this and that, having stale promos with stale people on the mic. No, with the mid cards and stuff like that.
Wow. I ain't even gonna say nothing for like the first 3 years. I'm gonna just stand there looking menacing.
Next question. Who would be the superstar of the group?
Probably you, Motor Mouth. The talker.
Yep.
I'll be a nice seller.
I'm probably gonna be that Cesaro type where you can rely on me for wrestling opportunities, but I never get break opportunities.
He said, "I never get a break or an opportunity." Everybody look at me like, "How the Cinko getting these chances?" Like,
I'm over here putting on Iron Man matches, breaking my back, and here comes Sam going against Seth Rollins for the Universal title. Man, screw you, Sam.
I won the Money in the Bank.
And I was the one who put up most of the work in the money.
Right, exactly. Yeah. The briefcase fell in my hand.
No, forget you.
Next question. Who would be the first person to leave or turn on the group?
You. Definitely you.
Me?
I'll say Sam.
I wouldn't think that. No. I really think it would be Jay Hard, for real.
Yeah, I think it would be me.
Him going solo will force me to go solo. That's the thing about it. Like, because me personally, like I knew I won't be able to carry the weight in the ring heavily, so that's me be relying on y'all. And
that's why I turn. That's why I turn. I get tired of your stuff. I get tired of it.
It's like that big Cass and Enzo thing. You see that? But you see who came out as a star at the end. Enzo did.
Oh my goodness!
Neither one of them got a job. Is all I'm gonna
say. But he got the title.
Neither one of them got a job.
And made the main event on Raw.
He ain't got no title now.
he still got the cruiserweight title in his possession.
You know what title he got now? His title is jobless. That's his title.
He's the undisputed underemployment champion of the world.
You go.
Don't trip. Enzo, you still my favorite wrestler. Don't listen to people.
You can't see
that. How you doing?
Right. And the last question I have is who would get the first singles push?
Probably me after I turn on you and whoop you in.
While we are a group, what if it's like a New Day thing we didn't break us up?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good one.
Who would get the singles push first?
That would probably be me, since you two.
That's what I was gonna say.
Tag team.
Yep. It'd probably be you. You'd probably put on the best actual wrestling matches. So you probably get that run at the mid card.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I pretty much win the tag titles alone. Sam's just there.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I still got that on my resume.
I know.
Don't worry. I'll carry the promos. That's fine. You ain't got to worry about talking.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some tag finisher where I could use you in some kind of suicide move.
I don't like that.
You gotta think
gonna
on
be
that.
something throwing me.
No.
Think on that.
Throw Cinko like a torpedo, and I can do like a double shooting star press on the opponent afterwards.
There you go. Hey, I could throw him like into like a spear. Throw him like a spear, and then you come off on the shooting star after the spear. Yeah, that's smooth. That's smooth. I like that.
Wow. So that is all the questions that I have, and that is all the time that we are up with. Thank you for listening to episode 6 of Know the Ropes Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, mention everything you could think of to get us some love on the social media networks and these podcast networks as well. Like I said, you can follow us on KTR_podcast, Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us at Know the Ropes Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Apple Music. Yeah, we got all that. You know, like I said, we got more than Apple Music. We got, we got Spotify, we got Anchor, we got everything. Link is in the bio. Please go do that now.
I tried Googling us. Everything comes up. Just Google.
Yeah, even type in Google. Know the Ropes Podcast.
We are everywhere.
Right. Like I said, episode 6, KTR_podcast. We are out.
Yeah. Said I'm about to bring it back to the block. Like my pocket holds a packet full of rocks, and I'm packing me a and my quick is the most hazardous of flocks that you couldn't count. A steady counting numbers from the raggediest couch. Take a pacifistic route if you're fearing the outcome. Bullets burn bitches better warn her like Malcolm. X out your